Now,
This meeting is being recorded.
okay. Week one of an 8-week program. Long time in the making.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Apex Frequency, what's up?
How are we doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's dive into it. I think what I'm excited about with this program is the fact that you're willing to commit to the next 8 weeks. The fact that we're recording this right now and we're going to be able to refer back to it and track progress over the next 8 weeks and see how things are going. A concern that, we've known each other for a long time and we've already conversed on aspirations for health and wellness and things of that nature. What I perceive to be perhaps the roadblock with you might be, where does the motivation come from to maintain consistency?
Right.
So I think let's start with that because, I am marketing the Way of the Shred. That's the program. And the Way of the Shred is a mindset and it's a lifestyle. You have to choose the path of eating healthy and taking yourself to the gym and indulging every once in a while, which is something like, this is all stuff that we've talked about before, which is less cheat meals, and it's just lowering that frequency because, like yourself, I also love to eat food, and it is a process to adopt the mentality and the habit of indulging yourself less often.
Yeah.
So let's start with that. I'm gonna give the floor to you. Tell me how you see this 8 weeks going.
Man, obviously, the motivation or the keeping of the motivation and the keeping of the consistency is an issue for me, man. Sometimes, you know what I mean? If I got a project coming up, a show, Skyfly with you, if I have a an end goal, an end date, I'm good until then. And then afterwards, I'm easy, I'm easily off the wagon. But leading up to Monday, or leading up to, I guess, a week ago when I hit you up saying I was ready for it, kind of just really just digging deep within myself, saying, man, I'm tired of feeling like this and looking like this. I see you looking great, killing it. And then I saw, my wife, Nicole, your client, kill it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I'm not going to be motivated by my self-esteem or lack of, if I'm not going to be motivated by my best friend, my wife motivated me, And so these past couple of weeks, though I maybe told you a week ago, and though, we starting this Monday, it's been really a couple of weeks that I've been slowly telling myself and coming up with game plans in myself, that I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do this, having real conversations with myself about the cheat meals or the snacks, you know what I mean? And I think I told you the other day, like we're going to have a cheat meal Sunday for Father's Day. But even then, I'm not, granted, I had a pack of cookies the other day, like one of those little Famous and yesterday, admittingly, I had a apple fritter. But this past week or these past 2 weeks, kind of just mentally getting there, I'm thinking less and less of food or pigging out. I'm thinking less and less of sweets, to where I know I still, for example, the sweets, I know, I think I texted you the other day saying, man, I had a pack of cookies. I was fucking like, I just needed something sweet. And more I'm battling, for me, it's all about like the little wins. Yesterday I just had one apple fritter when I could have had an apple fritter and something else, so it's like, and then like last night I was thinking about it. Hey, one day at a time, one day at a time. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
today's Thursday, so it's been a couple of days, but my eating throughout the day is I'm back to the 12, 16-hour fasting, which has always been easy for me given my work schedule. I'm back to kind of just eating better, and it's only going to get better from here with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Couple things come to mind while you're talking.
I
The
don't mean to
first
be
thing,
rude and drink on camera. I'm sorry.
oh, don't, man, my whole platform is casual, Um,
Listen for the people too. You gotta drink your water during the day. This is,
exactly. Thank you. One of the things that came to mind, because, I would say that your journey is similar to mine, and separate from Nicole's, who was a previous client of mine, and she did the 8-week program. Her journey, honestly, was not as, I want to use the word difficult, so far as she doesn't like food as much as we do.
yeah,
She doesn't experience cravings. And the one thing that I want you to be cognizant of moving forward is that typically the compulsion to pig out or overindulge or overeat or binge is not coming out of hunger. It's
yeah,
coming out of craving. It's coming out of
yeah.
like, I want
Lust.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's really, and it's always going to come. That's the thing that I really want to make clear on, this is week 1, and it's not just 8 weeks. It's an entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the thing that I want us to practice together is the expectation that cravings will arise. And then at that moment when it happens, because it's not going to happen every day, especially as you get closer and closer into this routine of healthy living and lifestyle, yada, yada, yada. But when it does happen, that's when it becomes a negotiation. Are you going to cave in? How much are you going to cave in? When are you going to cave in? And it's got to be a negotiation. And you know that you've won is when the negotiation ends, and whatever you end up doing, you're happy with.
Mm-hmm.
You're fully happy with. Like that's the goal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be happy if like you were craving something today,
Right.
caved in, and like gave yourself everything, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day it's like, all right, well, I didn't feel great about that. And then 2 days pass and you have another craving, and then you cave in again. You're not going to feel good about that.
And that's always been my issue. Every
Right.
time I try to do this diet thing, okay, I'm gonna turn it around. It's Sunday. This is the last day, and then come Tuesday, I'm giving it. That's always been my thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we can change that, and it is changeable. So because I've had the same experience, for the honestly 2 months of February into April and a little bit of May, I was doing a lot of cave-ins, and I kept on telling myself, okay, it's going to stop now. I'm going to get back on it. And literally 8-9 weeks later, I had gained like 20 pounds from that habit of like, I eat healthy like one day and then cave in for the next 2 or 3 days and then eat healthy for like one day.
I don't mean to cut you off, it's so crazy how everyone is different. You said 8 to 9 weeks, you gained 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be very honest with your viewers, with our Apex Frequency family, friends and family. Since my wedding, that was a month ago, I put on about 20. Not exactly 20, but in that ballpark.
Now, the cool thing is, and you might not know this, but if you can gain 20 in a month, then you can lose 20 in a month.
Thank you for bringing that up. So obviously every day I'm tracking my drinking, my eating. I'm also tracking the scale, right? Since I got on Monday morning to see where I was starting, I got on last both yesterday morning and last night, right? Because I get on every morning. Down 5 since Monday.
Nice. Nice.
Now, what am I doing? Literally just a little bit. I'm just building myself up. Every day I've been active. So sweating, exercising, even if it's a little bit every day, my eating is a lot better. And then like I told you, I've been kind of like drinking this tea, which I'm not even drinking that every day, but the couple of days I have, that's helping. So
Yeah.
things like seeing the scale in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in 3 days, it being down 5, those for me are huge, because that is like, okay, something's working. Vito, you're doing a good job. Keep it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And typically when a weight loss journey begins, and this is just to manage your expectations, but typically when a weight loss journey begins, within like the first week or 2 weeks, a person will experience significant amounts of weight loss. That's just because they're changing their diet, they're changing their daily habits, and it's reflected in the loss of water weight. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Who knows how much water weight you have to lose, but at
Yeah.
some point you're going to get to a point in this 8-week program where it's going to go from 5 pounds a week to maybe 2 pounds a week, which that comes later, but it's just something to be mentally prepared for, where as long as you are maintaining a deficit week in and week out, you should lose weight. As long as you are maintaining a deficit, which means you're eating less calories than you're burning. The thing that I'm going to consistently focus on with you, since you seem to have a natural propensity for being active, it seems to come quite naturally to you. It's easy to get yourself in the mindset of like, all right, what am I doing so far as movement today? Am I lifting weights? Am I doing some sort of cardio? What am I doing to be active? And like, you seem to have that on lock when you're in that mindset. So that's great.
Yes, always. I mean, yes, once again, despite how big I am, activity, it's always been the eating. The activity is not an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I could hit LA Fitness and easily be there for 2 hours, sauna, treadmill, Stairmaster, weights, or weights, basketball, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Yeah. So thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the thing, like I said, the thing that I'm going to focus on with you is, and I'll be battling my own demons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's nutrition. Nutrition is the thing that I'm still in the process of conquering. Don't get me wrong, I'm much further down the line than I was, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, but it's still a process for me to conquer. And I think we can use this opportunity to get further engrooved in how to handle what we put in our bodies so far as cravings and not cravings. The first piece of advice that I can give you is the concept of focusing on the healthy shit first. And I think this will work for you pretty well, just because I hear you talked about eating an apple fritter yesterday, and then the day before you had like a bag of cookies. Don't even beat yourself up about that, because that might be a good practice for you to implement on a daily routine, where you're eating healthy stuff throughout the day, and then as the day is winding down, or that you really start closing up shop so far as your stomach is concerned and what you're putting in your mouth and shit like that, and then you finish the day with something sweet. That might be a practice for you to continue to experiment with. It's what I like. It's called the 80-20 rule. So 80% of what you're eating, you're supposed to be eating protein, complex carbs, vegetables, all that good nutrition shit, right? So you've gotten 80% of that shit into your body, and then that final 20% that's still available because you need to maintain a caloric deficit, you choose like a cookie, or I don't know, a soft pretzel that just came to mind, or like a muffin, something like that. And that's considered the 80-20 rule. And that's a practice. That's a common practice.
Awesome. Wow. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Another example of the 80-20 rule is eating healthy every single day, and then you get to Saturday and you don't eat healthy. That's another example of the 80-20 rule. That would be your cheat meal, so to speak.
Yeah.
But these are all things where we're basically looking at strategies to allow you to eat what you want, just not as much as you would typically. And you shouldn't, like, nobody should eat junk food all day. It's just not healthy. There's no nutrition in junk food. There's no nutrition in cookies or brownies or cake or ice cream. There's no value in it. It's basically like a drug. I look at sweet junk food and shit like that. I look at it as a drug, but I do drugs. I do drugs because I like how they make me feel. So in the same way, if junk food is a drug, then I'm eating this junk food because I like how it makes me feel. It gives me a dopamine rush, right? But it doesn't mean that we should do it all the time.
Right.
So it's really just training yourself to determine how often do you want to do that particular thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
Yeah.
So far as the day is concerned, you had sent me, you started sending me what you've been eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see a lot of protein in your diet.
I mean, I mean, obviously, trust me, I eat protein, maybe not seemingly these past couple of days, but yeah, yeah. Like I got a rotisserie chicken. I bought an entire rotisserie chicken the other day to kind of like last me a day or two.
Okay.
And we get our eggs from Costco, so it's like I enjoy the eggs and I bang those out. Yeah. Where else do I get my protein shakes, which I haven't had any yet this week, but yeah. I guess I could see where, and I know you mentioned that the other day. Yeah, it's just been a bunch of fruit
Mm-hmm.
and eggs, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah. So
yeah, that's
what I'm seeing, and again, there's levels to this, and we're just scratching the surface, so
yeah,
no big deal. But my aim is even beyond the whole 8-week program. I can give you a higher level of knowledge as to how to actually dictate your dietary regimen, right?
yeah.
What I've noticed based off of the food that you're eating and sending me is that, and this is just an observation, but it looks like when you put yourself in the mindset of going on a weight loss program, you immediately think, okay, I just got to eat less food. And like, that's the thing. And I know you, based off of previous conversations, you're not one to really track calories and see how many of your calories you're eating each day, and then making sure that you're coming in below how many you're burning and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm excited to work with you to see if we can still achieve the progress
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
achieve the progress that we want without necessarily having to track the calories. It's going to be more of a bit like of an estimation or like a guesstimation, since we're
Yeah.
not methodically doing it.
I mean, I
But
could do that. You know what I mean? I would have to ask you or Nicole for tips, right? I'm
Mhm.
assuming there's an app that I can, like
Yeah,
I know. I mean, if it helps the cause, obviously, and if it makes sense, I can do that. I just have never done that, so I don't do it. But like, yeah, I could get into it.
it's
It will
definitely
make
worth call. And
if
like
it
I
will
said,
make
this is
things, yeah, if it will help and make things easier, I'll go ahead and I'll do that.
okay. All
I'll
right,
do it.
if that's what you want, like, again, I'm down for the challenge of seeing how I can accommodate your specific, your ways, and again, like, I mean, you are my client, right? And I don't want to talk to you differently just because you're my friend and we go back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just talking to you as a client, I'm going to
yeah.
say the best way to methodically lose weight is through tracking your calories and making sure that you're eating less calories than you're burning.
You
Um,
got it. You got it.
Now, with that being said, still talking to you from client to consultant, what you have been doing based off of what you're sending me, yeah, you're definitely operating within a deficit. Definitely. But does it have to be so extreme? It looks like you're eating on certain days you're sending me, it looked like you're eating like 900 calories at most, you know?
Right.
Now, if you're not hungry, great, but it's just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
that's not really the best way to go about. You don't want to do that every day, you know,
Right.
and it's likely to lead to cravings, and you're deficient in something.
Yeah.
So the plan would be to address the nutritional aspects of your diet while still eating less calories than you need to, so you can continue to lose weight.
You got
With that being said, now if you're down for that whole process, I can send you the app that I use. Nicole uses a different app. It's more popular, so I can send you both options, and we can decide from there. But you're going to want to use a scale.
Okay, I can use hers. She still uses it, but I might have to get another one. But okay, yeah, no worries.
Okay, I mean they're really inexpensive, and honestly, when you start incorporating the scale into what you're eating, it really does change the game. It truly does. It also serves as a kind of, it's like a divining rod, you know. Every day that you use the scale and track your calories, it kind of keeps you in the mindset of, I'm doing something, you know, like,
Right. Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah, I have a purpose in measuring my food and understanding why I'm eating this much and yada yada yada. And that's it. It honestly does become kind of fun because,
Okay.
again, it's like, for me, I will always promote, focus on your protein first, get as much protein as you need for the day, and then you can backfill with, like, that's the perfect opportunity to like introduce that 80-20 rule. So like the whole rule of thumb, which will be a bit difficult for you because the rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's like the general easy way to determine how many grams of protein you should eat every day. Now, a modified version of that would be like you weigh.
Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah.
55, 60-ish. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you have a goal, let's say to lose.
Bug it. Yeah, 60. Let's go with 60.
Okay. So let's say you have a goal to lose 30 pounds, which is what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My ideal, my ideal is no more than 230.
Okay.
You know.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say the goal is to lose 30 pounds. Then there are some that would suggest, if you aim to have your grams of protein match the ideal body weight, then that would be sufficient enough. So for you, it would be 230 grams of protein, right? This is the bodybuilder diet. Okay. So
Right.
it promotes the retention of muscle while strictly losing fat during a weight loss program,
Right.
as opposed to just maintaining a caloric deficit, not really worrying too much about protein. You're going to lose fat, you're going to lose muscle, but ultimately, it doesn't really matter. You're just losing weight, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely don't want to lose muscle because I've done the weight loss before. Before the wedding or for Skyfly, things like that. And I had lost the muscle, and I don't like that. That's one thing. That's one thing I definitely don't want to do. Which is why I've been probably already in the past couple of days hitting weights more here at home with you the other day, more than I have in previous like diet routines of mine.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, I would encourage you to keep doing that. Using the muscles will definitely encourage them to be retained, as opposed to if you're just losing weight and you're not really eating the proper amount of protein and you're not weightlifting, then yeah, the likelihood is that you will lose some muscle. Now, granted, The first time I ever started experimenting with nutrition for 3 months, I lost 20 pounds of tissue, fat tissue, who the fuck knows. But by the end of that 20 months, or that 20 pounds, I looked pretty great. And I wasn't working out at all because it was during COVID. So I didn't
Yeah.
have access to a gym, and I wasn't even doing like body weight anything. But I still look pretty good. So that's something to keep in mind. How much muscle are we retaining from weightlifting and eating higher amounts of protein? That's where it gets a little like, what's the percentage difference between
Yeah.
this practice and that practice? I'm just telling you the ideal laboratory setting so far as, if the goal is to maintain muscle, continue to lose weight, then that's really the strategy.
Mhm.
With that being said, there's plenty of different, I already understand that you consume protein shakes, great. Chicken being another source of protein that you go to, eggs, salami. So all of that we would just start tracking that. My next thing that I would want to do with you is if we're committing to the calorie tracking and getting the scale and measuring our food, then the next thing that we need to determine is how many calories you're burning, what the estimation is for that each day. And then we would probably, I like to do minimal deficits. So maybe like a 300 calorie deficit and see how that works. And the cool thing is, because you already have the ability to eat less, like you can eat like 800 calories in a day and be fine, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. Focusing on getting your nutritional value first, and then if you have, let's say, 400 calories left, that's your opportunity to like have something sweet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, we would focus on getting your protein. Protein is honestly the most important macro for you to focus on, macronutrient. Get your protein done, and after that, you're probably going to have, I don't know, 500-600 calories left that you can fill with fat or carbohydrates, and then
Okay.
it becomes dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Most people, they like to go with carbohydrates because it gives you energy in the gym and it allows you to fills your muscles up with glycogen, and you got all this energy to like pound shit out, but it's not necessary. And you can choose the carbohydrate of choice. Now, don't get me wrong, a potato, rice, sweet potato, quinoa, all of these complex carbs are going to be more filling than a brownie or a slice of cake.
Mhm.
And ultimately it is going to be more nutritious, but again, this is called backfilling. So we're focusing on the protein first, and then whatever you want to fill that last 500-600 calories with, that's your preference.
Yeah.
Now this would be a little exclusive to you, since based off of what I've observed, you don't really have issues with like extreme bouts of hunger, but that might come later.
Yeah, definitely no extreme bouts of hunger. It's just the lust of craving.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we should try this and see how it works. So, um, just for example, what's today look like for you?
Uh, Water, coffee, black, skip breakfast. We're gonna do a brunch. We're gonna like grab a lunch at the mall only because we're gonna see Batman in a couple of hours.
You mean the Flash?
But even yeah, that's what everybody's. I'm sure that's how everybody's
That's
referring to the
funny.
Flash
That's
as
funny.
Batman. We're gonna see the Flash in a couple of hours. But even then, when Nicole had the idea, like, hey, because of how our day's going, it just kind of made sense that we'd grab something to eat while we were there. Already, I was thinking like, all right, cool. I gotta see what my options are, like what the better options are, and I don't know. And as far as dinner, like I said, I got the rotisserie chicken, so I was probably gonna do what I did the other day: scramble some eggs and do some chicken.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then as far as like an activity, it would today would be like a minimal activity day, probably like a fit on app or maybe hit the park with Landon and see what I can do there, you know?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, definitely get Nicole in the mix of this process since she's already been through it. And you're gonna hear me say a lot of the things that I would say to Nicole. First in case in point. Mentally preparing for finding yourself in environments where your amount of control is not as much as you typically have. So, for instance, if you're cooking at home, you know exactly what's in your fridge. You have a thought out plan as to what you're cooking up for this meal, right? Going out to the movies and having lunch at a mall, that's, you got the food hall and there's this option and that option, and your brain is sending signals to your stomach and it's communicating with each other. And it's like, oh, I like that over there. I also like this over here. And then that's when it becomes, again, it goes back to that negotiation. And again, the goal is to win the negotiation and have it end with you feeling good about your decisions. That's what the goal is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, walk me through. What are you going to eat at the mall? What's your plan so far as eating?
To see what the healthier, better options are there. Yeah, I honestly have no idea off the top of my head.
Okay,
There's a
all right.
chicken and rice, probably do that. I can't think right now who has chicken and rice. We like sweet greens. Sweet greens are like one of our go-tos. Grilled chicken salad somewhere. Yeah. Like I'm not walking in there freaking having burgers or you know what I mean?
Right.
Lobster mac and cheese. I'm not doing that today.
Got it. Chicken rice is great. I eat chicken. I was eating chicken rice all the time. And there's so many places that you can go for it. Waba Grill, Flame Broiler, Yoshinoya, Hawaiian Ono. Like there's so many different places.
Yeah.
So that's great. Salads are also great if you're eating out because it's like, well, you got to watch how much dressing you're putting on it. But salads.
It's funny that with salads, man. Nicole and I were just having this conversation, man. I am so salad out. We were doing salads for so long. I was telling her I can't do a salad. Right now, mentally, I can't do a salad by itself. It has to have like chicken or like it has to have some type of meat. You know what I mean? Like we would do like a fruit salad or the cranberry walnut salad, and those are good. But we were just doing it for so long. I don't even want to hear the word salad.
I think salad should have meat on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Salmon salad, that's always good. A little salmon salad. Also, poke bowls.
Oh yeah, man. Nicole introduced me to those however long ago, and I like those.
Yeah, poke bowls are great. So
yeah. I forgot about those. Those are all right? Those are good options.
Yeah. You got rice and sushi. So
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I like this.
And then once again, not interrupt. Mentally, like going to the theater, I'm not thinking of snacks.
Good.
More so because I already went to bed / already woke up this morning thinking, fuck, 2 back-to-back days I had something sweet. So
don't worry about that. Again, it's we got to find.
But it's like a mental thing of hey, I'd rather like nip it in the bud now than like continue.
It depends. The reason why a lot of like the health conscious people out there, influencers, whatever you want to call them, the reason why many people avoid sugary treats is because there's something in those ingredients that make you want to eat more of it. It doesn't fill you. So if you have a cookie and it tastes really good and there's more, then
Yeah.
it gives you the desire to have more. And it's not about, again, it goes back to not being hungry. It's like, oh, this tastes good, it's in my mouth, and there's more to have, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to if you're eating something dense and nutritious like chicken or potatoes or rice, you eat for the satiety of that experience. You're not eating it because it's like, oh my God, this tastes so good, I got to keep eating it, you know? So if you don't have that issue, whereas like you mentioned that you had an apple fritter yesterday and that you had the option or the opportunity to have more of something sweet and you chose not to, if you can control that and it's literally just a matter of you getting your fix, then it's permissible. It's just that moment of if you can't control once the sugar hits your palate or hits your tongue and your taste buds, and then all of a sudden all bets are off. That's when we're just like, all right, well, we gotta get sugar out of the equation. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And there's you would be amazed, and we don't even have to go there right now, but you would be amazed at once you eliminate sugar altogether, how many things actually start becoming sweet, like berries and
Yeah.
fruit. And there's a Greek yogurt that I eat pretty much every day that has no sugar, no fat, and it's really tasty.
Then yeah, send me that as well. Send me that name as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Obviously, for the record, not to give you too much work,
mhm.
but if you didn't mind, if you had the time, I would take any and all suggestions via email, text, things that you like, because obviously, like you said, like you and I kind of like a lot of the same shit. So,
Mhm.
things that you like, you recommend, or maybe, or just from knowing me so well, thinking like, oh, like I think he'd dig this or something like
Okay,
that.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I meant to ask you that the other day at the gym, and it slipped my mind. And but yeah, like I said, if you didn't mind, if it wasn't too much of a bother,
Okay.
um,
Well, I'm gonna
which is
give
another reason
you.
why. Mhm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna give you from one sweet tooth person to another. Fucking life hack is protein ice cream.
I've tried that before. Yeah,
How do
I've
you feel
tried
about it?
protein ice cream. Is that the Halo or is that the yeah, right? The Halo's the 0 calorie one. I haven't had it in a while, so I don't remember right now. I
It's not
think I
zero
remember
calorie.
it. Oh, it's not.
No,
Okay.
it's not zero
All right.
calorie.
Low calorie, whatever. I think I
Yeah.
remember thinking it tasted like fluffy air, right? I don't know.
So
I'm gonna have to
here's
try it.
here's what I do. All right. I'll just tell you what I do and you can try it. Do you like peanut butter?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I do. I
Which
use
is
this with like, huh?
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
I I mean, granted, I haven't been having it this week, but that's another part of my like daily eating slash snacking. And we'll get there in later days. I'll show you. I haven't had it once again. I haven't had it yet this week, but I'll show you what I'll kind of have as like a snack, more so at work. Like I'll put like 2 spoons of peanut butter in a bowl, melt it in the microwave, and then I'll chop up 1 to 2 bananas and an entire apple. And that will be like a snack. And I've told Nicole about this weeks ago because I started doing it a couple of months ago, like around the wedding, before the wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been my thing. So where at Costco, we're getting peanut butter and I'm keeping like an entire jar at work. And then once that's done, I'm bringing another jar at
I
work,
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know,
I think
and it's Skippy peanut butter. I know there's like healthier peanut butter.
right,
I gotta like look at those options. But for now, I'm
maybe.
like doing for now I'm doing Skippy
Yeah.
and yeah, like an entire apple, 1 to 2 bananas, however many I have at work. And yeah, I melt the peanut butter and it's a nice
I
little
love it. I love it. I think if you continue to share with me exactly what you're eating each day, we can definitely fine tune because right now it really it does look like you're maintaining a deficit, which is the most important thing to achieve any sort of weight loss goals.
yeah.
My only concern is that you're not getting enough nutrition in your diet. Yeah. And again, protein being a primary, that should be priority, getting more protein into your diet. And once you download the app and you start tracking your calories, we will be able to track your macronutrients as well each day. And then from there, little things like having a snack with bananas, apples, and peanut butter. Absolutely. And honestly, you got to start looking at like each day, what's your source of like taste? So if like, is that the day, like, let's say you do that today. Is that the thing that you're looking forward to most? Because like, I pretty much like everything I eat every day, but there are certain things that I look forward to, like I can eat chicken every day, but I don't really look forward to eating chicken. It's like, it's chicken. Chicken is chicken, especially how I cook it. Like I just buy it from Whole Foods and it's cooked and it's ready to go. I put it in the microwave and now I'm eating it, right? So I'm not looking forward to chicken, but what I am looking forward to is oatmeal with cinnamon and bananas. I'm looking forward to that. Or my Halo Top protein ice cream, which is 330 calories, and it's got like 17 grams of protein and 11 grams of fiber, and like, and it's nutritious and it tastes good. You know what I mean? So you want to find those things in the day that it's like,
I might actually pick some of those up today. I'm gonna cut you off. Yeah, I'll be out and about. I probably should, to kind of help me curve that. I need something sweet. Let me grab a fucking pack of cookies.
So what I do with it, and this is just because I understand that it does taste a little airy or whatever. So what I do to make it taste denser with like more texture is I'll buy peanut butter powder. So PB2 or PB Fit, those are the two brands, right? I buy peanut. Yeah. So I make sure that I have enough like room. Like it's like a splurge, but the whole thing comes out to like 500 calories. But it's all like good shit. Like it's grams of protein, grams of fiber, some carbohydrates, and a little bit of fat. It's good for my profile. You just have to like allow for 500 calories to be spent on ice cream and peanut butter powder. Anyway, I get the ice cream, put it in a bowl, a big bowl, and then I get like scoops of PB Fit or PB2, and I put it on there, and then I mix it up like it's Cold Stone. So then by the time it's done, the peanut butter powder is like in the ice cream. Yeah, and it's delicious. It's fucking delicious. Like,
wow.
Yeah. But it's so good that like I don't even feel the need to eat it every day. Like I probably eat it like once or twice a week. So like those are my treats, my healthy treats.
That's cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. But cool, man. I like where your head's at so far as the type of snacks that you like to eat. You're definitely on the right track. So let's just continue to monitor, and I'll send you the app, and we'll get your deficit, or we'll get your calorie maintenance narrowed in, and then we'll start moving that way.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. Once again, man, this is, I know I've said it before, and of course I say it for now, but this is, I'm dialed in. This is
Absolutely.
maybe the most I've felt confident in myself to be dialed in and to stay dialed in a while. And and like my son motivated me yesterday. We were with another friend of ours, our other friend Sean, and we had like dropped them off at his place, and he was like, "Hey man, whenever you want to come work out in my gym."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like, let's get it."
Mm-hmm.
And my son was in the back, and he was like, "Yo, what's up? Like I'll be there." And I was like, "Oh, like, you trying to work out? Like, let's get it." And then he had even brought it up again. And I was telling Nicole last night, he was like hopping in the shower, and I don't even know how he brought it up. He was like, man, Dad, it sucks that gyms, you got to be 18 or 16 to go to gyms. Like, let's go to Sean's gym. And I was like, yo, like, you ready? Let's get it together, man. And it's like, and then when he hopped in the shower, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, that's awesome to hear. That's motivating,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, doing this is not, it has never been just for myself. It's been to roll over to them, and maybe in a way, my wife's Nicole starting was her rolling. I mean, because look, I'm doing it after her, you know what I mean? And then the domino effect going down to our family. So I'm dialed in. I'm feeling good. I know this week my eating has seemed a little wonky to you, but yeah, man, it's just a lot of self wins, daily self wins, like we got a box of chips left over from his graduation party last week, and I remember looking at it last night and just like, oh, like it does nothing, and already being locked in, like, oh, today, like, okay, cool, we're gonna go theater. No snacks. I'm good. Like, I'm not even thinking about snacks, especially
Yeah.
now that I'm gonna stop at Gelson's and get some of that ice cream and that peanut butter powder.
Let me know how
So
you
yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And and like telling you, and I know I had forgotten to tell you about my melted peanut butter thing, because I've been doing that for a while, and like that to me is like one of those things, like it like curbs that sweet craving, or like that craving, or like that need of like something flavorful or enjoyable, as you were putting it. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I know it's gonna be a journey for me. Not every day am I able, see, and even then I hate saying that, because I have things like Fit On, or but not every day am I going to be able to be active, what I'm saying? But I'm really making it a point to be active every day, to do something
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, and there's always something that's going to come up. But it's more so, look at it the opposite. Not every day you're going to be prevented from being active, So every opportunity, every day where you see yourself with an opportunity to actually get an hour in of doing something, then that's the thing that you should capitalize on, as opposed to the opposite of like, oh man, I'm looking at my calendar for this week and there's not a single day. Like that never happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So that's a person who's in the mindset of like, oh, I can't work out. That's bullshit. Everyone can work out. So yeah, things are going to happen in your week where you can't on Wednesday or Friday. But yeah, we're looking for 4 days at minimum.
Yeah, man, you're locked in, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Thank you for your help and your guidance and your patience. And
absolutely.
okay.
One other thing I was gonna say, I think your mentality is right there. Pay attention to here, it's a mental, it really is a mental journey. As your body changes and we go through this transformative process, it's also how your brain starts thinking about, and again, this is about food. It's about fucking food. So this will be about how your brain changes how it thinks about food. And we're going to take it easy. It's going to be a relaxed process, and there's going to be moments where reach out to me. So
Love it. I appreciate it, man.
cool.
This is dope. This is exciting, man. I'm excited. Thank you so much.
And I will. Well, yeah, we'll talk offline. And hell yeah, let's get it.
Fucking
Let's
get it, boy. Let's get it, man. You looking good, man. You looking good. All right, Apex Frequency, we out. Way of the Shred is live and up. Make sure you hit the link, and hit all the socials with the follows, like and subscribe. You all know the deal, and if you're not doing it, get it together.
Exactly.
All right, we out here, bro. Peace.
So